How's everyone doing? Perfect. Okay. Perfect. How's everyone doing? Yeah, actually, I do look. I don't know why this looks better over here. I don't have him out. I had to wear my hat, especially with my guest today, so no hair out today. I need to go get my hair cut. But, yes, it's Friday. Made it to Friday. Thank goodness. Hopefully everyone's doing well, doing good. I know everything's starting to open back up again, so, be safe, be careful. I'm definitely careful when I go to the gym. So, Corona's still out there. Thank you. Oh, so it doesn't look good any other day. Well, thank you. I try. The skin regimen is pretty good. Plus, getting a lot of sun helps. So, that's always good. I think for some reason, having the camera on this side works better. Thank you. Thank you, Dex. But yeah, I might stay here. I don't know. I'm still working on the studio in the other room, so once that gets all finished and everything. Yeah, gyms have been open for like 2 or 3 weeks. No, so I have 2 gym memberships, and thank you, Cabana. And I use EOS for my leg days, so Mondays and Thursdays. So I get there at 5, or I go at 5, and they have a separate room for the squat racks. So I just go in there. I'm literally by myself. I do my workout, and then I get out. And then the other days I use Planet. Again, I go when they open, 6 a.m., and then I do my workout. And it's actually, Planet's a lot less people, whereas EOS, there's a lot more people. Planet, there's not that many people. So, again, just get my workout in and then get out as quick as I can. So, yeah, I'm not scared right now. Not yet. I'm good. I'm okay. But thank you for wondering. I'm actually impressed with myself and the skin and my eyes and my beard right now. But we'll save that for later. Perfect. We'll get Noble in here. Thing going. What's up,
Yo,
bro?
what's going on, bro? How's everything, man?
Not much. Everything's good. How are you?
Good, bro. Thanks for having me on, man. It's been a long time coming.
Nope. Yeah, no problem. I had to wear my stuff
Had to
today.
represent, man.
So,
I
I
appreciate it.
still
I
I still
appreciate
wear
it.
it.
I'm happy to get you
It's
some new
funny.
gear. Check this out, bro.
I'm waiting for the pants, for the men's
Bro,
pants. That's
check
what I'm
this
waiting
out.
for.
So, so this is the back of the shirt, Paradise Performance. Our
Okay.
new performance tee. The shirt's all black, high
Okay.
quality, cotton spandex blend, super stretchy, more stretchier than the one you have on. So this one fits a little better.
This one shows everything. So
It's a
this
little.
one
It's supposed to hug the sleeves. It's
this
supposed to
one's
hug the sleeves.
this it's funny because when I first moved here to Vegas, I wore this shirt and it was like one of the first pictures I put out on Instagram, like in Vegas. I thought that was great. Fits a little different now after all this bulk,
It
but
does. It does, man.
but it's okay.
After some time, it changes. It doesn't fit the same, you know.
Right. It doesn't.
Check these out. So these are the shorts that are in the works now. So
Okay.
all black, poly spandex blend,
Okay.
super high quality. Then we have the logo printed down here, Paradise. Super high
Nice.
quality, super stretchy. You can wash. So right now, I was just working on the sizing, trying to get
Okay.
the sizing right with my manufacturer. So don't want them too tight,
Right.
but you don't want them,
I, I'm
too
still I'm
baggy
still
either.
I'm still waiting for some, compression shorts, some compression pants. I
It's
know
it's
we got all this stuff for the ladies. I
it's
need stuff for the
2020, man. It's
I
coming. It's
need
coming.
I need stuff for the men too.
The ladies market is hot. That's why it's like it's
That's fine, I guess. I'm selfish, so I want my own stuff. So
bro, one thing at a time. It's coming though. It's coming. It's coming. So
I know. So we'll go ahead and get started. And I don't always screw it up because I never say it because I can never say it. But I have Noble. Say your last name for me, Noble.
Ajakaiye.
Oh, see how easy it is. So I have Noble Ajakaiye out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Good friend of mine.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
owner of Paradise Performance, his own athletic apparel company, and also played D1 football at Villanova. Noble and I go back even before any of this. I mean, Paradise was going, but even before Focus
But
was even thought of.
it was been a few years, bro.
It's been a while when we could go outside, and we went to brunch and had plenty of mimosas that
Brainstorming,
day.
So
Yes. So I'm very excited to have you on. But
thanks,
to
bro.
get started, I always ask people, and it's always a good question because I like to see how people start off because not everyone starts at, the same place. So
hmm
growing up, did you ever have to deal with any type of weight issues, whether it being too small or, too big, anything that you had to deal with?
Man, I went from being 120 to one, I think in middle school I was skin and bones, but when I was younger I was all fat. I was a fat
Okay.
kid. So
Okay.
up until I think I started playing football like third grade, second grade, third grade, you know,
Yeah.
tried to put on weight. I was undersized, small. Even then, up until fourth grade, fifth grade, I was fat. I was overweight. Moms used to have the Kool-Aid in the house, so we'd have Kool-Aid every night for dinner. And my mom, she from the South, so she'll cook good.
Okay.
And that really wasn't a problem up until like middle school. When things started to get serious, started taking athletics, football, track more serious, and there I I cut weight. So I was a
Yeah.
lot smaller in middle school than I was in elementary school. And so from there, in high school, I bulked up again. I think I entered high school at like 180,
Right.
bulked up to like 230 by senior year. And even throughout college, when I played at Villanova, I think my junior year, I went up to like 285. It was like my highest playing weight. And that fluctuated from 230 to 285, back down to like 230. I got all the way down to like 215 after everything. And now I'm like 230, 240,
Yeah.
but solid 240. So all my life,
Ex-
man.
Now explain because a lot of people won't understand just because they might have not had they didn't have the experience of playing D1 football, but the fitness level from high school to college to then coming out because a lot of people, it's I think for college athletes they think it's NFL or bust,
Yeah,
but
man.
for some of us we didn't think that way because we knew that was kind of it. So just
hmm
explain that fitness journey just in those years because I know it'll fluctuate for a couple people.
Yeah, but so I'm gonna start back like high school. So high
Hmm.
school, played football, track, did soccer, middle school growing up, always into fitness. Not the same that I am now. Like back then it's like always like
Hmm.
you have to do. School mandate,
Right.
you have to lift. Coaches, you have to lift. Gym was always cool, because it's kind of it's less structured. Do whatever you want to do. And then taking that into college, like it's like, all right, well, I'm coming to school, I'll do my studies and I'll play football on the side. You don't really think about lifting.
Right.
But from day one, it's light switch, completely different.
Yeah.
Because coaches get paid. That's how they feed their families.
Right.
You're an 18-year-old kid, from middle of nowhere, bright lights. So and they expect you to lift and do what you have to do. So it's tough, and it was tough because a lot of people don't understand. They don't really get that connection, especially even while they're playing. You think it's like,
Hmm.
oh, it's a chore.
Right.
So you don't take it as serious. And then once it's taken away, then it's like, man, like maybe I should have took it a little more serious.
Right.
Maybe I can be where I wanted to be. So, but I mean, everything happens for a reason. So that's kind of similar story. You know,
Yeah.
Freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, I lifted. I was big. I was strong. But I could have been bigger and stronger. I could have been faster. I could have been quicker. I was good, but I could have been great.
Right.
So I had a good playing career. Senior year, I had a fifth year. So I redshirted my freshman year, had a fifth year, and ended up tearing my pec. So I tore my pec, completely ripped it. I was lifting. My teammate, he was training for the draft, came back. He was actually my roommate. Came back. He was like, "Yo, let's get a workout in." Went to the weight room. 5 minutes into the weight room, just putting up 310, rip. So into my football career,
Yeah.
early short, a year short. So from there, I'm like, man, like I don't want it to end this way.
Right.
And so that's how I really got big into fitness. So from there, I started watching YouTube and watched a couple different YouTube influencers like Christian Guzman. I know at the time he was 22, 23. Now he owns Alpha Elite,
Right.
multi-million-dollar fitness brand. That's when I took the whole fitness thing more serious than just football and lifting.
Right. I lost you a little bit there. I got you back now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you, as a Division I football player, it almost becomes a chore to lift because you're playing football. When did it switch in your head that fitness after football was going to be important to you because, it's for your health rather than playing a sport?
Not till after. I mean, because even in college, you want to hang out with your friends. You want to party. You want to do this. You want to do that. You want to do games. And lifting's like, it's a chore. It's not what you want to do is what you have to do. So it doesn't really click until it's not structured anymore. And it's something that you really want to do, because I know people that lifted with me, did everything, grinded with me. And then after college, it never clicked for them. And, you see them today, you really don't recognize them because they don't look the same, because
Right.
it never clicked and they don't really care. I mean, to each his own, but it's something that goes off, something that everybody has to make that decision after the playing days are over, and luckily for me, it happened as soon as I hurt myself,
Mhm.
but I was able to recover and come back stronger, bigger and stronger than I was then. So,
Yeah. As you get older now and obviously football behind you, where do you see your fitness goals going and with what you're doing right now?
um, so I mean, it's definitely tough because right now I'm still working a 9 to 5, but
Yeah.
I want to grow my brand, and right now the focus is my brand. So I want to
Yeah.
work and build my brand as big as it can be, And this year started a lot slower due to Corona, but things are definitely moving. And I mean, hopefully within the next few years, we're making 100,000,
Right.
hopefully $1 million a year,
Right.
anything's possible. So that's the goal. That's what we're working towards.
I'm glad you said that too, because I find myself in that situation sometimes. When you have a fitness brand, you really have to embody everything that is fitness. So when let's say you fall off of that, do you feel somewhat guilty sometimes? If you feel like you've kind of not outgrown it, but you've just kind of like you've kind of fallen back on what you're trying to produce for other people.
Well, honestly, I think that everybody's story is different, and how you think your story plays out is different than how it's actually going to play out. So if things change, it's part of life. Like you just have to adapt and keep it moving. So let's say I wanted to be a fitness trainer or a fitness model, and then I got into apparel, and it just happened. Then it just happens. And I'm
Right.
sure things are not going to work out the way I expect. That it never works out that way
Right.
but you just have to adapt, roll with the punches, and people grow and people mature and things change and plans change,
Yeah.
so.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the athletic apparel that I'm wearing. As you can see, hats and shirts. Where did the name Paradise Performance come from?
Something that I thought about for a long time. I went
Okay,
through
you don't
like,
have to give all the secrets, but
no, no,
just
no, 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 no. I mean, and I think with every company, you know, everybody wants a good name, and it's
right,
something that I thought about. I went through honestly, hundreds of names. I have a couple different notebooks where at the beginning I wrote down names, and anything that kind of clicked, I'm like, all right, well, that sounds good, that sounds good, that sounds good. And then one day, you know, I told I was at work a few years ago, and I was like, what about? I was talking to one of my buddies. I was like, what about Paradise Performance? How does that sound? And he was like, oh, he's like, that has a little ring to it. That's kind of
right,
fire.
right.
I'm like, Paradise Performance, you know, like everybody's paradise is different, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, paradise for us is kind of like the gym, you know, working out, fitness, but it can have its own meaning to whoever it may be, you know.
Yeah.
So
Voila, there it is. And everyone, especially entrepreneurs, will understand. People who are watching, once you find that name and you kind of
it
light up because
clicks.
you lit up. Yeah, no, it makes me think about the story when I was thinking of my name, and it's just you kind of light up and you're like, well, that's actually, yeah, that actually works.
And so
As
from there,
far as
you just run with it, you know.
yeah, right, pretty much. Now with everything that's going on right now, just with the first pandemic, how has that slowed down anything you've done, if it has, or has it given you more time to think about more of what you can do?
So it definitely delayed some things. So I came out with the women's stuff, I think the weekend of May 23rd, I believe. So a few weeks ago, I think it's been like 3 weeks, but I planned on releasing the women's stuff back in like February, March. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of right when everything hit, is like, oh man, what can I do? You know, do I
Right,
push it back till everything opens back up? Do I kind of just adapt, you know, and try and work with what I can, see if I can find a few models, hire a photographer, you know, and we'll just go from there. And I'm like,
right,
rather than sitting on inventory, pushing it back till, you know, summertime, maybe fall, let's just do it now, you know.
right.
And it's a blessing in disguise, because since I'm working from home now, I have a little bit extra time, you know, the time to getting to and from work. I don't have to worry about that. So I do have a few extra hours built into my day where I can work on what I need to work on, you know?
Yeah. Now, again, I'm glad you brought that up because some people will continue on working their 9 to 5 while they're, homegrown entrepreneurs. How difficult is that to balance both of those things without almost making it seem like one is the stepchild and one is like the main child? How do you deal with that?
Late nights, you know, so
Yeah.
honestly, I do the 9 to 5, and then sometimes I may do an hour or two if I have to get something done or take a call or do whatever I have to do. But from like 8 to, 2 or 9 to 3, whatever it may be, it's paradise, you know?
Yeah.
So whether that's, fulfilling orders or, making changes to the website or looking at product SKUs or looking at items releasing next month, trying to get stuff to the manufacturer. It's tough, but it's 9 to 3, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what the day is.
Right.
So
Now, when you're doing this, because I also wonder, I lost my train of thought a little bit, but do you know who B. Simone is? And I'm gonna
yeah,
go
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
go a
yeah.
little pop. I'm gonna go a little pop culture here for the people, kind of mix it up. But because she had come out with a statement, and there's backlash now, obviously, and
Mm-hmm.
it kind of goes on what we're talking about, where she said she'd rather date an entrepreneur than a 9 to 5er because they would be able to understand her, the way she works a little bit better. Now I
I
know
saw that.
yeah, now I know. Now she got a lot of backlash. She said there's nothing wrong with being a 9 to 5er, but she'd prefer to be with that entrepreneur because
Mm-hmm.
they can deal with it. Now I know you're in a relationship. How does that work for you? Like, does she understand what's going on, or it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
just
So
let me
so
do my
she's in
thing?
school. She's in school. She does her own thing, and she works. Her the thing is her schedule's worse than mine.
Right,
So she's
right,
up maybe earlier than I am, maybe studying or writing papers or doing whatever later than I am. So it works out perfectly, and then during the day I keep myself occupied doing whatever I have to do, and at night we spend time together. So her being in school, it works out perfectly.
Awesome.
And I understand where B Simone was coming from, but my only criticism is that within the past few years she stopped working her 9 to 5. You know what I mean?
Right.
You really can't, and I understand it's more about the lifestyle, it's not about the money, but I think it's more about the person rather than the lifestyle. Because if you wanted to make it work, you can make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Good point. How important is it to have someone who supports that lifestyle of an entrepreneur?
Oh, 100%. Like it's probably the most important thing. If you don't have anybody that supports you, then it may never work out,
Right.
because while you're chasing your dream and trying to do what you want to do, and if they're not supportive, then something's not going to work. There's going to be a disconnect. Your hustle, your dream's not going to work, or your relationship's not going to work. But if they're supportive and they're understanding, then it's perfect. It's perfection.
Yeah, makes sense. Now I remember what I was going to say, and I joke with you all the time about this, about the women's line, only because I'm selfish and I'm waiting for, so I don't have to buy Nike compressions anymore. But why go I know, but why go the route of women first? Being a male yourself instead of going men first?
So the thing is I started it to get into the menswear. So I did this because I wanted to make menswear first.
Okay.
But when marketing and doing everything, you just see that, leggings and sports bras and women's shirts and women's apparel, it's hot and it's easy to sell. It's hard to market. So marketing is hard. Because women, what they do is they'll go onto the site, they'll browse, they'll add to the cart. Ooh, it looks nice. Price shop a little bit, and then they'll leave. And then you'll have to try and do remarketing and try and bring it back in or show them ads, and it's a whole process.
Yeah.
But the margins are there. Because you can make a pair of leggings less than $20, and you have companies selling them for over $100.
Yeah.
Like Lululemon and Nike, they make those leggings for $8 to $10, if that, because they make them in like Indonesia. They'll make them in a smaller country, and they'll sell them for 80, 100, 150, like whatever it may be. There's brands selling it for that much, and the margin's ridiculous. Whereas if you're a man, we're only going to buy shorts. Truthfully, I won't buy shorts more than $30, $40. That's me.
Right.
I'm not going to spend $80 on a pair of, even if they're the best shorts in the world, I'm not going to spend $80 on shorts.
And we're only going to rock with one pair for,
whereas women, you can price leggings at $70 and they'll buy 5 different colors at once.
Yeah.
And then you come out with something new, they'll buy 5 more colors.
Yeah.
So it's all about the numbers, and you can scale. And once you have that fundamental, once you have that system in place, and you have the money, you have all the funds and everything secured, then you can start to scale, start working on men's stuff, building out men's shirts, men's pants, men's joggers, all that stuff. It's nice, but the margins are a lot smaller. That's why you see a lot of brands marketing towards women,
Interesting. Now, when did Paradise officially come out? When did it start for you?
So 2016, I kind of formulated the idea, and I came out with like t-shirts. So they were I went to like the local printer, and I think I got like, I don't even know what kind of shirts they were. Like regular cotton t-shirts, super nice, super stretchy. And I sold them for like $20 just to kind of start, and then from there I was kind of able to expand, and from there I was able to get a little bit of money, reach out to manufacturers over in China, India, Korea, America, and test different products, and from there kind of grow and scale and work different products from men's and women's.
Okay. And the reason I ask is because being an entrepreneur, I know there's plenty of times that you probably wanted to quit. How many times do you think in your head that happened to you? And what was the time where you just said, you know what, we're just going to keep rocking with it, and I'm going to keep pushing forward?
Well, honestly, from day one, I was like, no matter what happens, I'm gonna keep pushing. Even if I
Okay.
have to delay, a release or delay whatever it may be, I'm gonna keep rocking with it, whatever it may be. Nothing good happens fast.
Right.
Everything that's good takes time.
Yeah.
If you rush a product or you rush a business or you rush whatever you're doing, more than likely there's going to be holes and cracks and it's not going to be as good as it can be. But if you steadily grow your brand day by day and you take your time and you work on whatever you're working on, then I feel like that has a greater chance to succeed.
Yeah. How long is the process for you when it comes to making, let's say, a pair of leggings? Because at the end of the day, you have to really set yours apart from what everyone else is doing. Because at some point, you get into a clothing store, a sporting goods store like Dick's, and you'd be like, these all Nike, Adidas, everything looks the same. So how do you set yours apart from all of those?
So what you have to do is you have to recognize a trend, see what's trendy. Look at your competitors, look at what they're selling, and then from there you have to try and identify, all right, well, when will I be selling these products? And then you have to, look at what colors are popular during that time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there you have to so I first sketch, whatever I do, I brainstorm and I sketch whatever's on paper. And then from there, I bring that into a 3D rendering program on my laptop. And then I sketch it up in the 3D rendering program, put that into Photoshop, put that into Adobe Illustrator. From there, try and identify what materials I want to use. So I'll look at other brands and see what materials they're using and send that to my manufacturer. They'll give me a price. They'll give me a time frame. And then depending on your quantity and whatever you're making, it could be 4 weeks, it could be 2 months, it could be 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's something that you really can't just say, hey, I want to make leggings. So you can. So if you
Right.
do want to go that route and say, I want to make leggings, I can reach out to a manufacturer and buy the leggings that they have and slap my brand on it. You can do that as well. But you're really not differentiating yourself from anybody else. And then once customers get those leggings, they're like, oh, this is such and such, and the markup's probably even crazier.
Right. Right.
So you just have to identify what's hot, what's trendy, and put your own twist on it, whatever that twist may be.
So besides semantics and kind of looking at trends and all those types of things, what then inspires you to make some of these things?
I honestly just see what's selling, and I
Mhm.
ask around, what do you like? What kind of fit do you like? What kind of material do you like?
Mhm.
And everybody has their own opinion and kind of sort of whatever's popular, you're like, all right, well,
Right.
I'll try that out. And
Okay. Yeah.
that's what it's about, trying different things out. And if something sticks, if something works, you make it again, and
Yeah.
then you tweak it, and then you make it again, and then you tweak it, and then you make it again. That's all it's about. You're not recreating the light bulb. You're just taking something, putting your spin on it, and then selling it to the consumer. Because people don't
Right.
want to try new things. People want to try new things, but people will only try new things up until a certain point. You're
Mhm.
only going to spend a certain amount of money on something new. You know, so you don't have to recreate the light bulb. You just need to put your own spin on it.
Right. Okay. Take money out of it. What
Hmm.
is the end goal of Paradise Performance? Where do you see this? Yeah. Take money out of it because we all want to make money. And we are going to make money. I'm not going to say we all want to. We will.
Yeah.
But what is the end goal of Paradise Performance, or where do you see this going?
Honestly, so in my head, a few years from now, I want to own my own. I want to have my own facility, my own business.
Hmm.
My own space where I have my gym, and then out of the back, I have a whole warehouse space for Paradise Performance. You know, and I make enough money where I can pay my bills, live comfortably. You know, afford a nice car, live in a nice house, do everything.
Right.
Not have to stress, not have to struggle. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's all it is. I want to live comfortably while making paradise, selling paradise, you know, and just enjoy life, live life, travel, do whatever I have to do, play with the dog, you know, not have to work the 9 to 5, you
Right.
know, that so many people, you know, have to do, you know.
Have to do. Yeah. Now, if Nike or Under Armour or Adidas, if they came to you and said, "Look, we want to absorb your company and take everything that you have to then have you work for them under their guise," is that something you would do?
See, that would be dope, but I would have to look at the margins at that point in time. You
Mm,
know, honestly, if I'm like if the brand is making millions of dollars a year and Nike
mm,
wants to take over the brand, I wouldn't do that. You know, I
right.
wouldn't want to sell, even if they're like, you know what, you make $1 million a year, we'll buy it for $10 million and you can come work for us. I wouldn't do that
Okay.
because at that point, I'm living good anyways. I'm
Okay.
living comfortably. You
Right.
know, there's nobody I report to, you know, and my pockets are fine. I'm food in my belly, you know, I'm good. So
Right.
maybe if they 100 million, it's like a crazy offer, $100 million, come work for
Right.
us in Seattle. We'll buy the brand. You don't have to raise a finger. You become Jeff Bezos. All
I
right,
I
you
mean,
know.
it, if sacrificing the name of your brand, uh, everything
I
in
don't.
the end of it,
I wouldn't do it.
yeah.
I honestly, I would never do it. You know,
Right.
if I was at the point where I was making serious money and the brand was like, let's say Gymshark, if the brand was as big as Gymshark and
Yeah.
Nike approached me and they're like, all right, we'll buy it from you with the hopes of dissolving the company
Right.
just to get rid of you
There-
and we'll
There's
give
no,
you a ton of money. No, I wouldn't do it. Mm-mm,
yeah, there's no point. I get
no
you.
point.
So I
Would
always
you?
ask people,
Would you do it?
no, I mean, mine's different. It's a little different. Now, if someone said, "Oh, we want to hire you to promote and to do the type of thing that you do," then possibly. But I'm with you because this is something that you work for every single day, and you've put your own stamp on it. So it's
Yeah, man.
I could never see someone taking it away from me, or even me just you know liberally giving it up. But I was going to ask because I know you work out all the time, so I know there's some nutrition to what you do.
Hmm.
But besides the brunch that we had, which was amazing, and I'll tell you, you're going to have to remind me when this is over where it is, so I can go back and visit that. But what is your go-to cheat meal? You know, if you're looking for a good
Ooh.
cheat meal, right? It's all. I'd always get. This is the question that always gets people because they're
All
like,
right.
oh, stop.
So there's
You have options.
I have options. Living
Okay.
in the city, I have options.
Okay. Right.
So, like, as crappy as it sounds, Domino's. Like, I'll order Domino's if I just want to eat.
Interesting.
If I want to eat like just nasty, grimy, greasy pizza, I'll order
Right.
Domino's. You know, get
Okay.
the 2 for $20. Be here in 20 minutes. You know, I mean, I've been eating
Right.
that since college. Like, a lot of people don't like it, but hey, I like it. I don't mind.
That is a college thing.
But go to is probably China Garden, or I think it's called China Garden. The Chinese place up the street.
Okay.
Can't beat it.
And
Can't
you
beat it.
get what do you
Chinese
get?
food. General Tso's. Always General Tso's. Spare ribs. You know,
Everything.
$30. Can't beat it.
Right. Right.
Cheap meal Chinese food, 100%.
All the time. Nice. So I wanted to ask, closing everything out. You know, probably a lot of new people watching me and watching you.
Hmm.
What gem would you leave to the followers or the people who are watching right now? You know, as far as your philosophy and your brand is concerned, just about everyday life, or just the way you go about things.
Follow your goal. Don't let anybody deter you from what your end goal may be. And things will happen in life. You have to adapt. You know, nothing's going to be easy, but you have to fight and claw and keep working for whatever you want to achieve, whatever you want to accomplish. Whatever you want to accomplish, you have to work for it and you have to fight for it. You know, it may not happen this year or next year or the year after that or the year after that or the year after that, but eventually, you know, you're going to get there. You know, doctors don't become doctors in 1 year. Lawyers don't become lawyers in 1 year. To make it to the NFL, you're not going to make it to the NFL from playing college football for 1 year. It doesn't work like that. You have to put in the time, you have to put in the work, and eventually the hard work's going to start to pay off. is going to start snowballing and it's going to pay off. So that's the one, Jim.
Awesome. Well, for new viewers or new followers, run down your social media for me and the website so people can visit. I'm going to put it in the notes as well.
Yeah, man. So you can find me at mcnasty.fit on Instagram. You can follow the brand page, Paradise Performance, at Paradise Performance on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and paradiseperformance.com.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, Noble, thank you so much for coming on. We will chat after this.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
No problem. All right. See you.
Take care.
All right. So excited to have Noble, good friend of mine, like I said, on the show. Paradise Performance is the brand. So you'll be able to check this out on IGTV. Also, starting July the 3rd, everything will be moving over to our YouTube channel. So you're going to see these interviews. If you didn't get a chance to check them out on IG, you can check them out on YouTube. Also, my documentary will be dropping July the 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So you get to learn a little bit more about me. We'll also have a weekly, not show, but a weekly segment, just a little bit about not myself, but building kind of yourself. So focus is all about you as a person, physically, mentally, emotionally, on focusing on creating your solutions, and that's what focus stands for. So a lot of things coming up. Next week, we're going to have 2 shows. Wednesday, I'll be talking to Joel Gamble. Joel's a former NFL player. He also coached for me when I was football coach at Patapsco High School. So we're going to be talking to him about his foundation, the Joel Gamble Foundation. And then on Friday, I'll be having returning guest Ian Edwards. We're going to talk more about skincare and just have a casual conversation with him. So next week, Wednesday and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for tuning in. See you guys next week.